Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And this video should be interesting, to say the least, because we are doing our NFC North predictions. This is the last division that we have to predict for the 2020 season.
That's right.
I don't know, should we set an over-under? Jordan talks for half an hour of this video. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Let's give some background first. So, Jordan...
We reached an agreement.
I'm sure Jordan's going to specify many times this next, however long it takes, that he's a Bears fan, I'm a Bears fan, Ryan's a Texas fan, so that's relevant to this video. But what we decided, we're just going to let Jordan talk about the Bears, because he tends to ramble on in general. We're just going to let him talk about the Bears, and then me and Ryan are quickly going to just talk about the other three teams in this division, and then we're going to give you our pecking order for the division from 4 to 1. So, Jordan, start your rant.
Okay. Well, yes, we did reach an agreement on this video, as Tyler said. I will be talking about the Bears, and I'll be shutting my lips, my mouth, my area below my nose.
Here we go. We have a story again.
For most of this video, unless there's absolutely a necessary comment that needs to be made. So let's run through the roster of my favorite team, the Chicago Bears, and just plug that into the Touchdown Table stereotypes, that sentence right there. We start at the quarterback position, and this is one of the most interesting quarterback rooms in all of the NFL right now. It is Mitchell Trubisky, who was drafted in 2017, picked up his option this year, so this is a make-or-break season for him. And the pressure is put on by the trade to acquire Nick Foles from the Jaguars. Previously was with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, then went to the Jaguars, then they traded them here. Minshew is the Jaguars quarterback, but we're not talking about the Jaguars. That was in the past video.
This is why we made this compromise.
Yeah. And then Tyler Bray is also there as well. So I had to throw that comment in there. You probably did not understand it.
It's okay.
But
all good.
The battle between Trubisky and Nick Foles will definitely be a huge story of the Chicago Bears in this 2020-2021 season, if it is actually played, which pray to God that it will be. So I am personally a Trubisky guy. I believe in him. I think he plays best when the pressure is on. I believe that he starts games terribly, and then in the fourth quarter, he gets things done. Even if that doesn't mean winning, it just seems like he's a much better player in that fourth quarter when the pressure is on, except for that Cowboys game last year where the Bears absolutely destroyed the Cowboys on Thursday.
I think it was like a 7-point game. Chill out.
No, it was. I think it was more.
I think it was 31-24, but I'll double check.
Well,
what game are you talking about?
Cowboys
Bears
game?
Cowboys.
Well, it shouldn't have been a close game, but at the end it was close because
Yeah.
the Bears just let up in garbage time.
But they ripped them to shreds, and I love the Bears ripping the Cowboys
Why
to
do I
shreds.
remember this?
Because you remember everything. But Trubisky and Nick Foles, that will be an interesting quarterback battle. I think we made a video on that, didn't we?
Let's keep talking about the Bears.
No, didn't we make a video on Trubisky and
Oh, yeah,
Foles?
we did, yeah.
That is the Bears. Come on, man.
It's your time you're wasting.
So anyways, I'll shut up about that matchup. I think Trubisky will win. But whatever quarterback is going to be able to step in and win us games, then I want to see them on that field. So there's the quarterback situation. Now let's move to the running back situation. And it starts with David Montgomery, who was drafted last year.
Let's go a little faster. I know we're already 4 minutes into this video.
Let me talk. You're just wasting time.
This is going to be a Bears deep dive at this point.
Okay?
Yeah, it really is.
So we got David Montgomery at that running back position. He was drafted last year, like I said, out of Iowa State. And there he broke the record for broken tackles, which is absolutely amazing. I think David Montgomery is going to have a breakout season. I was surprised to see it because MJD is not usually a fan of the Chicago Bears, but in his breakout running backs list, that came out, I think it was today. I think he had Montgomery at maybe 3.
I think he's done a couple of them, and he's had Montgomery in the mix for a little bit.
So I think Montgomery is definitely going to have a breakout season. Now behind Montgomery is Tariq Cohen. It's kind of the change of pace back. He can go out there, get some receptions. He's got that speed. He's small. You probably see in that highlight him doing the backflip and catching both the footballs in one of each of his hands. It's a great, crazy video. He's very athletic, and he's kind of a change of pace back. So if Matt Nagy in this offense could use these two backs how they're supposed to be used, how they can correlate together, it can become beautiful and blossom into one of the best running back tandems in the league, in my opinion. Let's move to the wide receiver position. And in my opinion, this is underrated. I guess you can say maybe just because I'm biased.
You actually might be a little right.
I am biased, but we're okay.
Yeah.
That's something. So it starts with
You
one
might
of the
overdo it
more
a little
underrated wide receivers in the league, and that's Allen Robinson. I think he got 93 in the top 100, which is actually pretty good. I was surprised to see him in there. I thought he should have been in there, but I personally think that he should be higher because I think he's
little
up
higher,
there
little higher.
with some of the great names in this league. And I'm gonna say it. He should be in spots with like Devontae Adams, Mike Evans,
okay.
Chris
See, when I
Godwin.
said you were gonna overdo it, this is what
I swear, I love this guy, Allen Robinson. And guess what? I had him on my fantasy team last year, too. So double the love towards Allen Robinson. But I think he is honestly really good. He's played with Trubisky, and he's played with Bortles his whole career.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's
you got to take that into account too. I'll give you
tough
that.
career.
That's why.
But
he's
I think
underrated.
Allen Robinson is a great wide receiver. Then there's Anthony Miller, drafted 2 years ago out of 3 years ago, I guess you could say, out of Memphis. I think he's going to have a breakout season this year. Then a newer guy to this room is Ted Ginn Jr. Previously was with the Saints, was with the Panthers, I think, before that. Maybe the Saints again before that. Don't know exactly. He's moved a bit in this league, but he is more of a deep threat. Even getting older, he's still got some speed. He's still got some game left in him. They have him listed at 3 on their wide receiver.
Probably return some punts too.
Yeah, he probably could return some punts, although they do have Tariq Cohen and Cordarrelle Patterson to do that as well, so we're going to get to in a second. Some of our wide receivers, I want to mention Javon Wims. I think he didn't play as much last year.
Where did he go to college again?
He went to... Did he go to Georgia?
Yeah.
That's right. He went to Georgia. Then there's Cordarrelle Patterson was with the Patriots for a bit. Then he came to the Bears, and he was with the Raiders before that. So he's more of that... change the pace guy, kind of like Tariq Cohen. If you need some special play in there, he'll go in and do it for you. And then Riley Ridley, who is also out of Georgia.
Yeah.
And I think he'll have a breakout year this year.
You guys got a thing for Georgia, I guess.
Yep. Next, we move to the tight end position. And this is a position that the Bears just continue to stack up on, getting these first 3 guys they got this year. Jimmy Graham, who I am very disappointed that they got. I did not like him when he was with Green Bay. We went to Green Bay against the Bears game this year, and people were expressing their hatred towards Jimmy Graham. Green Bay fans were doing this. So I really don't think that was a good pick. I think his best football is behind him. I hope I'm wrong, because I wanted to see him do good if he's on my team, but I just don't see it. The guy that I really think is going to do good is Cole Kmet out of Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
He was the front-runner tight end in this draft class by basically everyone's eyes, except for the guy sitting right to the right of me. That
was
being
not
Ryan.
the only one.
He was the front runner, and basically
front runner, but it's not like I was the only person in the universe.
No, but Cole Kmet had a great season with Notre Dame, so he did great. Also, Demetrius Harris, who they got from the Browns, and Jesper Horsted, who was there last year. That's just some of the names in their very packed tight end room, as Tyler was pointing for the time. I'll go through these linemen pretty quickly. Charles Little Jr., James Daniels, who they got a few years ago, Cody Whitehair, who's been there for a while, Jermaine Effetti, who they got from the Seahawks this year, and Bobby Massey, who's been there for a while too. They struggled last year. Hopefully they can get better. They need to get better if this offense is going to be successful. Now we move on to the defense. I'll try to go a little bit faster as you start hearing me talk about a little bit faster, but it's going to be annoying if I keep talking this fast, so I'm going to start talking slower again so you can actually understand. Akeem Hicks starts off my list here. Akeem Hicks battled some injuries last year at that defensive end position. He's actually usually more inside. They just have him listed as the defensive end on here for some reason. So I think he will do really good. He's a very menacing creature on that line. He's a funny guy, great character, and he's really strong as well. Roy Robertson Harris backing him up. Then a newer face to this being in the roster, and newer face as of basically today, because this position was recently filled by Eddie Goldman, but he decided to opt out of this season due to the coronavirus for his family, for his safety. So he opted out. That moves John Jenkins up to that tackle position. Then Bilal Nichols at that other edge position, but he's basically playing tackle as well because of the defense that the Bears run. Then Khalil Mack, he really needs no explanation. You know Khalil Mack. Then Roquan Smith, one of the guys that I really love, have his jersey. I wore it to all the Bears games this year. I think he's going to do really good. He had a pretty good year last year. I think this could be his breakout year. I'm saying that for a lot of Bears players, but I think they're going to have a lot of breakout years. Danny Trevathan is next, the linebacker next to Roquan Smith. They chose to sign him back this year instead of Nick Kwiatkowski, who ended up going to the Raiders, I believe it was. Yep. So have faith in Trevathan. The Bears had faith in him. They decided to keep him. Robert Quinn, who they got in a trade from the I almost said Seahawks Cowboys. this year. That's an underrated trade. I know Ryan has actually said that. It's an
I have
underrated
said
trade.
that.
So that's not just
I
bias.
don't think it was a trade. Didn't you just sign him?
Oh, yeah, we did just. Oh, well, yeah, it was just a
Underrated acquisition.
acquisition. That's right. Buster Screen playing that cornerback position to Sean Gibson Sr., Eddie Jackson at that safety position, and Kyle Fuller at that cornerback position. You went through those ones fast, and just because I'm on the Bears, got to read off some special teamers. Eddie Pinheiro at place kicker, Pat O'Donnell as the punter, Tariq Cohen, returner, Cordero Patterson as the returner, and Pat Scales as the long snapper. How long did that take?
Too long.
Way too long. But me and Ryan are going to go through these next teams pretty quickly. We'll start with the
10
Packers.
minutes.
Clearly talk
Could've
about
gone much longer.
Aaron Rodgers when we're talking about the Packers. That is the main focal point of their team. Also have Aaron Jones at the running back position.
Yeah.
Devontae
33
Adams.
at the top.
A guy.
I love that. He's underrated. That's
Okay.
right. That was the one I knew I was going to say something
Okay.
for. I had to just do it. And Kirk Cousins comes on.
And then Devontae Adams, as I mentioned. I think I did. Another guy to talk about on the offense. We're not going to hit on that too much.
Yeah.
And then moving to the defense, Ryan, I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, you look at this defense. I feel like they have playmakers, and that I mean, I'm just going to be vague here. They have playmakers, and they can give their team a chance to win each and every game because they've got Aaron Rodgers back on the offensive side, so they don't have to shut down their opponent every single game because they usually have some tough games on their schedule. That defense, you got the Smith brothers, guys like that, playmakers. They
Yeah,
continue
they're just
to
getting started this week.
that's fun young tandem to watch. The defense is solid. The offense, as you mentioned, my one concern with them, they didn't really get a whole lot better. They didn't get worse.
Some younger guys.
Yeah, but their first round pick doesn't help them now. They drafted A.J. Dillon when they already have a great running back. So that's just my one concern with them.
That is concerning. They seem to be building for the future when they're in. They should be in the
were
now
in the NFC Championship last
with
year.
one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers. And then one more thing to mention about their team is that safety tandem with Darnell Savage and Adrian Amos.
Oh yeah,
those two are very good. And Jordan does not like Matt LaFleur. Let's move on to the Vikings now. Another guy Jordan does not like is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And,
there's really no rhyme or reason behind it. I just don't.
Yeah, it's okay.
Jordan, there's literally no explanation for it. But
he's going to be sleeping this year on his mattress, him and Dak.
It's frustrating to watch Kirk Cousins because it's inconsistent. You'll see one game where he looks great. He was in the MVP conversation earlier on in the year, last year, and then he would just kind of fall apart. And then he would find another streak of goodness and then right back down. But we can talk about Dalvin Cook at the running back position. Stephon Diggs is no longer with them anymore, but they got Justin Jefferson to replace them. And then they also have Adam Thielen out there as well. At the tight end position, they have Kyle Rudolph.
At the tight end position.
No, at the tight end position, they have Kyle Rudolph. And then they...
Smith Jr.
Yeah, there it is.
I was
just going to say they drafted him last year. So that's a pretty good rundown on their offense. I like the system. You do the defense, I'll do the offense. So
okay, you look at the defense. I feel like this team has had a good defense for the past few years. You look at the guys they have, like Hendricks in the linebacking core, Harrison Smith in safety. In the safety position. And then, the secondary going to be a little bit retooled because Xavier Rhodes he had a horrible year. Yes, I made the Pro Bowl, and now he's in Indianapolis.
I don't get it.
Trey Waynes is gone. Although Mike Hughes is still there. Mike Hughes is, one of you really liked him. I don't remember who it was.
Well, I liked him because that was the one pick I got right in my mock
Oh, yeah.
draft
So
2
he's
years
like
ago.
your Andrew Thomas for me.
Yeah.
So, I think the defense will still be able to keep this team in games because they're going to have to because Kirk Cousins, he has his good days and sometimes they're very good, but he also has his bad days and,
I love
they can be very bad. So I think the defense will be consistent, but the offense is all going to come down to Kirk Cousins. They should be all right, and, I'm not going to say too much because we'll get to our predictions later, but I think this team will be all right.
All right, last team we got to talk about is the Lions. For a long time, they've been known as just the sucky team in the NFC North.
Not just the NFC North.
In the NFL. But, there is some hope for this team. There seems to be a spark of light for them, and that is Matthew Stafford. I know he's been there for a while. But what we saw last year
overrated or
was outstanding. He could have honestly won MVP had he stayed healthy, but then he just
I'm glad you mentioned that.
He just kind of got injured, and we didn't see any more of him, and the Lions kind of just deteriorated from there.
Can we talk about the rest of this team swiftly?
I will do that because that is a great segue into DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Who they just got as the new running back back.
Funny.
They had issues with the running back position last
Alright,
year.
funny.
What?
And then
Alright, funny.
Yes, you
Jordan,
are.
and then Jordan, I'll let you say these two names, and that's about it. The wide receivers, because I know you love them both.
Kenny Galladay is a great wide receiver.
I
And
just said their names.
what?
Just their names.
Who's the other one you want me to say? Danny Amendola?
No, I was expecting Marvin
Marvin
Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to do today.
Danny Amendola too. I'm glad you said that as well. And then, of course, we got to mention T.J. Hawkinson on the offensive
Yes.
side, tight end position.
Oh, and
That's
Hunter
promised.
Bryant. He's gonna be good.
Undrafted.
I don't know why you think it's like a joke. Like
He wasn't bad, but
he is going. To
But
be
you
good.
had him as your best rated tight end.
Yes.
He went undrafted.
And I stand by that.
And there's a video of you saying
Hey,
that.
we
Yes, I
we
never.
don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
until it happens. There's been undrafted players that have done great.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you should.
So, Ryan, just talk about the
I
defense.
stand by what I
Disregard
said.
Jordan's statements. Although they might be a bit true.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Defense.
the defense. I mean, obviously they've got a
Jeffrey.
defensive-minded coach. They do, in Matt Patricia. The Jeffrey, yes, Jeff Okuda.
I know you love when people say
I
Jeffrey
just I don't
Okuda.
know. It's Jeff Okuda. It's bum 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 bum. It's not bum 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 bum. It's Jeff Okuda. So yeah, they made the right pick, upgraded the secondary. Obviously, they just traded away Darius Slay, got some picks in return. Big shoes to fill for Okuda. They also signed Desmond Trufant. And then the rest of this defense, I think they're still a work in progress, but the secondary did get a lot better. And, Detroit, I mean, in general, they're just an interesting team because you go back, you remember that Lions-Chiefs game early last year. Matthew Stafford was healthy. The Lions were, I think, 2-0-1 at the time. And they were competing with the Chiefs down to the wire. So that kind of shows the ceiling of the Lions. Hey, this team was competing with the eventual Super Bowl champs. Was that just a fluke, or is that really how good the Lions can be if they're healthy? We don't know.
Yeah, so there it was. Now let's go quickly 4, 3, 2, 1. Through it,
Yeah.
Jordan, faster than last time, please. Just name the
Yeah, I got
teams,
you, man.
and that's all we're going to do.
All right. Well, finishing fourth in this division is going to be the team that finished fourth last year. I think they're a good team. I think the NFC North is going to be a hot division this year, but I think it will still be the Detroit Lions finishing at fourth. It's just not completely there yet. I'd like to see them play together one more year for it to really become great, so they're going to finish at fourth. Then at third, I hate them. It's the Vikings.
Ooh.
Then here's where the bias comes in, because
Okay.
the Packers are going to finish at second, the Bears are going to finish at first. I'm not going to explain myself, because if I tried to explain myself, I'd just be wrong. Because this decision
he's
is
honest
basically
about it.
just based off of bias. And just like I picked the Bears to go 16-0 this season, I picked them every single year, every single game to win, and they only won 8 of them.
You
But
were
they
right
only lost
half
8
the
of them.
time.
Yeah, I was right
Yeah.
half the time. I was 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so
0.5.
sure, whatever fancy decimal percentage thing you want to use.
Like 2 out of 4.
Sure.
I mean, it was actually...
Okay. Okay, I know what
Yeah,
you're trying to do.
16.
Okay, so let's talk.
It's the same.
Let's talk about these teams really quick. I'm gonna run through this.
1.5.
Detroit Lions are finishing fourth in this division. They're just not there.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta go with the Bears at third. I just have to. I got more questions about this team. The quarterback controversy. I do think they should start Foles. If I knew they were starting Foles right now, which I mean, obviously this is gonna be posted for a while. We're filming this on July 28th, so we don't know who their starting quarterback's gonna be, and that just makes me wonder, especially without a training camp and without a preseason, how smooth will things be for a team with the quarterback competition. The potential is there, but I really like the top 2 teams in this division. And then second in this division, if they got a little better, if they drafted better, they'd probably be first. But second is the Green Bay Packers. Not a fan of the Jordan Love pick. I said this
No.
earlier in our... I said not a fan of the Jordan Love pick.
That's not what I'm knowing. No.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure what I said.
You know he's knowing because
But-
you're about to put the Vikings at 1.
Oh, yes, I will do that, but let me finish talking about Green Bay really quick. They didn't get a whole lot better, and they should have because they're in win-now mode, but they're still a good team. They still got Aaron Rodgers. They still won the NFC Championship last year. Just other teams around them got better, but they really didn't. So I don't know how well they're going to be able to keep pace. And, we use the term, pecking order. And I'm just going to say...
Oh, God.
Minnesota's at the top of my pecking order, okay? I'm sorry. I had to say it, Jordan. I know you didn't like to hear that, and I know that's what you were probably cringing about over there, but it's true. Minnesota's at the top of my pecking order, and I don't
Yeah,
know
we
why.
know.
I don't know
We
why you're
know.
surprised
We know.
by this.
No, we know.
Yeah,
Is
so
this like a dream or something?
maybe maybe who knows? But
Hindsight's 142.
yeah, I don't know what that means, but sure, or maybe I do. Who knows? But yes, Minnesota. A lot of
The Vikings.
yeah, the Vikings. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings. Really like how they drafted. The defense is solid. Mike Zimmer just got an extension. As far as Super Bowl contention, I don't
You talking
know.
about the chipmunk?
Yeah, sure. But I really think
Or red cheeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll do Red Cheeks. But I think this team is the most complete team in this division. I'm a fan of their draft. I'm a fan of Mike Zimmer. And Kirk Cousins, he doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes. But at the end of the day, he'll be able to lead Minnesota to a division title and be at the top of the pecking order.
Remember, Ryan, this is no dream.
I'd just like to
I feel
point
like,
out
I
that
feel
I
like
think-
you're dreaming right
I'd
now.
just like to point out that Ryan went longer than me in that. So
Yeah,
I just gotta talk about my pecking order.
I did
Is that a
start doing. I
problem?
did start doing the little thing there at the end, but I'm gonna go quickly
Oh,
as I
think
usually
know why he
do
was doing
because
that.
it takes a while to get to me. At number 4, I have the Lions. I think they will improve. It's just not this year's not going to be the year they make the playoffs. At number 3, I have the Bears. I do. I try and keep bias out of this channel.
I respect you for saying that.
sometimes you just gotta channel your inner Maurice Jones, Drew, MJD, and James Jones out here. So that's what I do. Because Maurice Jones-Drew is biased towards the Jaguars, and James Jones is biased towards the
Just
Packers.
let him finish his pecking order.
Please.
All right, I just had to say it.
At number 3,
Glad it was you,
like I
Alex.
said, I had the Bears. I think it could be a good
Glad.
record, like somewhere around 9-7, 10-6. But like this division is going to be tough, and then the Vikings are right above them.
Can you
Just
tell us who finished 4th again? Sorry.
the Lions.
So Clyde is better than DeAndre Swift.
That's actually true.
Yeah,
Your
it's
thing.
true. But then after that, like I said, I have the Vikings at number 2, close between the Bears. But I think
Yeah, the Vikings at the
the
2.
uncertain,
Yeah, Minnesota's a 2.
All right.
the uncertainty,
Whoa!
the uncertainty of the Bears is what's putting me at 3. And at number 1, I have the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is still there. He seems to be carrying the team. I believe that you look at the Packers team last year and say, why did they go 13-3? They really weren't that good. The answer is Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
That's
And their
really
schedule.
Yeah.
And the refs.
A little bit.
A little
that
bit.
one line.
But Aaron Rodgers has just done so much. So I think he'll get another division title this year. So there it is, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, comment about your opinions on this division down below.
Yeah.
And with that, Minnesota is at number 2 for me.
Okay.
Like I said, just to clarify that. And with that, we will
Glad
see you
to hear
guys
that.
later.
See ya.